Well, good afternoon. It's Tuesday the 12th of September. I've come over to the reservoir. I haven't been over here for a little while. Water level's gone quite down. I thought I'd come over and do a spot of, well, fishing for anything really. Tench, bream, roach, and you never know, might get the odd carp. There are a few in here. But it's a very pleasant day, sun shining absolutely beautifully. I can only see one other person on the reservoir. He's over on the dam wall. So I thought I'd come over and give it a few hours this afternoon and see how it goes. I've actually brought both sets of rods with me today, my lighter rods and my heavier rods, just in case the wind was too strong over here and I needed a bit more backbone to get out there, but I don't think I will. So I'll start with the lighter rods, but it gives me the chance to redo the other rods anyway. I'm back down on the canal for a few nights again a little bit later on this week, weather permitting. And I really want to redo some rigs and check the line and that, so it's a good opportunity. I've put the shelter up. That's one thing I do like about that particular shelter, is they're not just great for fishing at night on the canal and other places, but they're absolutely fantastic as a day shelter. They're so quick to put up. It just helps to keep the wind off of you, saves getting dressed up in your suits, your salopettes and other things. So try to leave having to wear those for as long as possible. I'm fishing 3 rods again today, so I'm going to put one on a boilie, one on red maggots and the other one on tiger nuts. I've been carrying on with the tiger nut experiment and to see if they help deter the bream. Anyway, I've mixed some ground bait up for the method feeder and I've made that so that it's going to mould like a paste, almost as hard as rock, because in these windy conditions I want the feeder to take that straight down to the bottom. I don't want it breaking up on the surface when it impacts the surface, otherwise it will just spread all over the place. And by the time the feeder gets down to the bottom, there'll be nothing there. I've put in about half a pint of red maggots into that, and I've put a few pellets in with it as well. and that's what I'm going to fish now. What I'll actually do is I'm going to put 2 of the rods out now while I change the hook link on the other rod, and then I'll swap the other 2 over as well. But these have all got sweet corn on at the moment, these hook links, but that'll be fine until I get things changed. As I said, I really want to mould that round the feeder so it's really stiff, then has to sit on the bottom for a little while before it'll break away. I've already been out with a marker rod. I know it's pretty clear out there. I'm going out at about 40 yards. Perfect. Make sure the bait runner's on. I'll get the second rod out. Normally about this time of the year the roach in here are really prolific, so I shouldn't think we'd have to wait too long for a bite from one of those today. I'll just wait for that feeder to settle, and then I'm going to tighten it up, put a stop to that bleeping. At least from here I'm able to cast into the wind where I'm fishing, not across the wind, which is a bit of a nightmare. That's good, and I'll get this hook link changed over. I do believe the first fish is about to grace our net. Haven't even finished making the other rod up yet, and there we are in already. Well, that's nice. Plodding, whatever it is. Didn't take too long, did it? Haven't been having much luck on the canals just of late, so it's nice to actually put a little bit of a bend in the rod, which is what I really came for. It's always a good idea if you're having a lot of blank spells, go visit a commercial or go to a water where you know you're going to get some, fish, just so that you can try your rigs out, boost your confidence a little bit. Oh, it looks like a bream. Just make sure he doesn't go around the camera. Which he is obviously trying to do at this moment in time. Come on, you. Probably about the same stamp as I was catching previously on my previous trips over here. I have to take him to the unhooking mat to unhook him. Well, that'll do for a start today. These bream are very lean though, they've not got a lot on them at all. They're very, very lean indeed. Shouldn't be like that really. I'm going to pop this one back. I'll tell you what though, there's quite a chill on the water where I've just put that fish back. It's really lost its temperature compared to what it had been. Make sure that's nice and free, we don't want any tangles. Well, that's the first one in the net anyway, so that's a good start. Right, get on with changing that other rod. Here goes the second fish. Oof, that's going well. The other rod's away too. This feels like something a little bit better. I've put the other rod down for the moment because this one was really running. I've hit the other one and then just opened the bail arm. But perhaps this could be our elusive tench, or at least a decent hybrid by the feel of it. taking me through a little bit of weed, that is. I thought there was a bit out there when I was having a chuck about with the marker float. Well, it's pulling back anyway, that's the main thing. No, it's just the bream that's been on steroids, I think. I thought it was a tench for a moment. Still, it is a fish, and that's what we've come out for today. Right, I'll get one unhooked and see if that other one's still on the rod. Right, they've got decent sized slabs though. I think they're around the 6-7 pound mark. I'll weigh one of them shortly, but still nice. As I said, I do like bream. That's one of the reasons why I'm a member over here, is for that very reason. I like to come bream fishing. Like a bit of everything really. Anyway, let's get that one put back. Let's see if the other fish is still there. I believe it is. That's nice on this bright sunny afternoon. I should think it's another bream by the feel of it. Still, at least I've brought the lighter rods with me today, and it makes them much, yeah, here it is. It makes them much more fun to play fish on. Oh, it's got a two-tone one here. I'm going on hook. Still haven't finished changing the third rod over yet. Right, this looks a nice one. Get out of the way. I like to treat all fish with equal respect. Got a few chunks taken out of it on the other side, this one has. Be easily recognised in the future if I just turn it round. Those couple of marks there. What's happened the past couple of years is the water authority has let the water level down because there was quite a few pesticides had got into the water and they were trying to dilute it, and it also had the effect of killing off the dreaded zebra mussel as well that was along the shores, and I don't know whether that's had an effect on the weight of the fish, but they're certainly down compared to what they've been the past few years. Yeah, I mean, that's ever so light. It's only £5.8, that is. And it's many a year since I caught bream of only £5.8 over here. Anyway, I'll just get this slip back. 3 bream in the space of less than an hour isn't bad, really. As with any fish, if you just hold them and support them, they'll let you know when it's time to go back. Right, I'll see if I can get a couple of these rods back out there. A little bit of a tangle there. You do get a lot of them on windy days. You just have to be, mate, doubly sure that. Sorry, I've got some mud around there. Make doubly sure that everything's free before you cast. Otherwise, even on an 8-pound line like this is, it will just crack straight off. Just gone out a little bit further with that one. About 55-yard mark I should think I'm at. Yes, the year's certainly changing now with the recent rain that we've had. It's an absolute quagmire here at the moment. That's just packing around that and doing exactly what I want it to do, really staying on there. And the added weight of it as well in these windy conditions help keep the feeder pinned to the bottom. Instead of it emptying rather quickly and then rolling round. Get that tip under the water and the line sunk as quick as possible. Otherwise what happens is the wind catches it, you get a big bow in it, and then the tow will just keep pulling the feeder away from where you're actually fishing all the time. Especially in these conditions. Right, see if I can get that other rod made up. Right, I'm just going to get the third rod out now, which, as you can see, is a method feeder, but on the hook link I've got plastic maggots, plastic red maggots, which I'm going to fish. But I'm not going to put that out as far as the others. I'm actually going to put that down on the right of me, and I'm only going to be about 25 yards out from the shoreline in the hopes of trying to pick up a tench. With any luck, the tench have been as elusive this year as the carp have been for me. I don't know why that is. Got that sunk just nicely. As soon as you put something down, it just gets absolutely covered in mud. Right, and as soon as I'll bring one of the other rods in and then change that over to tiger nut in a minute, and then the last rod over to a boilie as soon as I get a chance. I do believe we are in again. Should imagine it's another bream because it's just pulled the hanger up to the head of the bite alarm. It's not actually taking any line off the spool, as you can see. So I should imagine it's a bream kiting. It's just keeping on a tight line really. Certainly feels like it. But that's fish number 4. Whoops. Nearly went over then. Bloke on the damn wall's looking at me. I've not seen him have any fish at the moment, but he may well have done while I've been sitting round making tackle up. But the way he's looking across at me at the moment makes me wonder whether he's not been having anything and he's wondering why I have. Luck really. I shall start pike fishing at the end of the month, dead baiting over here. I do enjoy my pike fishing, and I shall certainly be over on the dam wall then. I'll have to take it a little bit easy because my leg won't like the slope at this particular moment in time, but I've got my operation in shortly in October, so I'll be away from fishing for a little while, so I tend to make the most of it while I can. It's another very dark bream, this one. Come on then, come to pop up. Give me a chance to change this rod over now. That came out beautiful and cleanly. There you go, fish number 4. Right, finally I can get this other rod changed over, which will be nice. That one's bleeping a little bit. I'm not sure whether that's the battery's going flat and I need to change the battery, or whether it's a bit of wind rock at the moment. I usually use the quick change swivels on these rigs, but I ran out and just use ordinary ones. I wish I hadn't, but I've been and got to replace some new ones. It's a bit of a drive for me to go to a tackle shop, so I try to limit going to when I've made a list and I need quite a few things. Anyway, let's get that off of there. And change this over for the tiger nut. And I've just got one more to change then, over to a boilie. I've been catching bream on this rod, so it'll be interesting to see when I put it back out the same distance whether I'll stop getting anything on here. I'll straighten this all out a minute. Put the tiger nut back on. I don't tend to use baiting pins on tiger nuts because I just find that they don't work particularly good for me. Yeah, I think I've got a flat battery on one of the alarms there. Anyway, there we go. So I'm going to get that out now. Well, looks like we're away on this rod, and yes we are. I'm sure this is the one to put the tiger nut on. Does feel like a bream. It is pulling back quite well though. Mind you, they do on these light rods. Every time you look across that direction, the sun is just absolutely blinding. What a contrast to yesterday when it was just lashing it down with rain most of the time. Yeah, here it comes. It is indeed a bream. Come on then. In you come. Right, I'll just get this unhooked. Nice fish. Hold still. Splattering me with slime. Right. And as you can clearly see there, the tiger nut in its mouth. And it's sort of going the way I expected, really. That I have noticed I've not been catching so many bream on the canal when I've been using the tiger nuts, but I did expect it over here to still catch fish, as I said previously, on tiger nuts, because they're just so prolific in the water. But I've got a lot more data to collect and collate yet, so I'll reserve judgment until then. Well, there goes bream number 5. Nice fish. It's a little bit bigger than some of the others, but I'm not going to worry about weighing it. Oh, matey. Off you go then. lost my hat. Right, get that other rod back out. Right, I'll just get this other rod back out. Have to wet that ground bait up a little bit. It's drying quite quickly in this sun and this wind. Move this other rod, I haven't had anything on it yet. There's bits of weed. I thought it was the bite alarm, the batteries had gone on the bite alarm, but there's bits of weed being blown in by the wind that are just catching on the end of the line and just setting them off a bit. Oh, we're off. That's going well. Another quite hectic day. If only some of them were tench, I'll be really happy. But I was talking to the bailiff over at Clattercoat a few weeks back when I was fishing over there, and a couple of other gentlemen that don't particularly fish Clattercoat for the carp but do actually fish it for the tench, and they were saying that they were having quite a grim year tench wise over there. They just weren't in the usual places and their catches had been quite meagre. So been a funny old year really all round. The only time I ever really worry about things is if everybody else is catching and I'm not. Then clearly you're doing something wrong, whether it's being in the wrong place or using the wrong tactics or the wrong bait. But okay. See if I can unhook this one straight in the net, save me taking him up the bank, but he looks a little bit lively. Let's have a look. Oh, you are awkward. It's only a barbless hook, thank you. Right, They are lively today. I have to wash that net before I go home. Right, put that down there a moment, finish getting that other rod out. See if that fares any better out there. For a change, I seem to be catching fish across all of the rods instead of just one rod at the moment. I've moved them around a few times as well, but it doesn't seem to be making any difference. I'm not going to be too fussy today. Got some soft moss on the grass behind me, which is really handy because when it's just tangling around the rod tip a bit, I can lay the ball of ground bait on the soft grass with a hook without worrying about it getting damaged. And this weed's a bit of a pain. I'm glad I'm not night fishing. That'll drive me around the pole. Right. Come on, I know there's one there. Here we go. If only carp fishing on the canal was this easy. No, I probably wouldn't go. Feels like another bream kiting round towards the right hand side. I'll go out a bit further this time to net this one. Surprised I've not had anything else show up other than just the bream. I thought there'd have been a few roach. It's normally prolific for roach at this time of year over here. you know, it's often worth just coming over here and wading out in the water and fishing a waggler 20-30 yards out just for the roach fishing, because it is that good, and they're all decent sized specimens. But I've not had any hybrids today either, and I've certainly not had any tench yet. Anyway, I'm only here for a few hours today, so I cannot complain at all. I've sat over here for entire weekends in the past and not had a single fish, so I can't complain. I'll perhaps come and do a couple of nights over here towards the weekend or next week, because once we get past the end of October and the clock's going forward back, they once the clock's changed, then the fishing will die off over here anyway. I'll just be doing a bit of pike fishing in the main until next spring when I return. Yes, that quick today. I made the ground bait real heavy because, as I said, I wanted it to go down like a brick, hit the bottom and sit there for a while before it came off, which would allow me to tighten up and everything and keep the feeder in place. But these are going off that quick. It's not even giving that chance to happen. Sounds like one of the other rods is about to go. Oh, that's just jiggling, that is. On there. Might be the first roach we were talking about. That's maggots, that is, so could well be. Go on. Yeah, this could be. It's nodding the rod top a bit. Whatever it is. Be careful when I step over those rods. No, I have a feeling it is another bream. Thought it was something different just for a moment then. That's another one of the two-tone ones. Certainly not the other one, because the other one had those scars on it, so, which I would have been surprised if it had have been. Although I have caught the same tench during a session before over here. Right, I'll just unhook this and then I'll give this a bit of a weigh. That one was on the red plastic maggots. A lot of people have got a lot of qualms about using the plastic baits, but I find them absolutely brilliant for any species. At least you know they're always on there, they haven't fallen off or been eaten. That's one advantage of them. See, that one's got a little two-tone colour on it, halfway down its body there. Never ceases to amaze me, but carp are the same. You get mirrors, linears, and no mirrors are alike, and quite often it's the same with bream. There's so many varieties of bream as regards colouring and shading, not type, that it's quite incredible really. Right, get this rod back out and I think that will do. I've sorted out my other rods, I've sorted out my tackle box, got that back into some sort of orderly fashion. Had a few hours of fun. Right. Well, I've had quite a few enjoyable hours this afternoon. I didn't arrive here till, I should imagine, the best part of 12 o'clock. It's only 3:30 now. I've had quite a number of bream. I know bream aren't everybody's cup of tea, but I've certainly enjoyed catching them. Fished for them on some nice light gear, 8 pounds straight through on a 1.5 pound rod, 7,000 class reel. It's quite sporting really. It's nice to put a bend in the rod, because as you know, if you've been following me along, I've had quite a few stints on the canal that have resulted in nothing. So it's just nice to put a little bit of a bend in a rod, and I do like it over here. It's nice and relaxing. I must come back and do a couple of nights over here actually, wrap the season up as regards things over here. I've just bought the kettle anyway. I'm just going to make myself a drink to drive back with when I can find my cup. Oh, there it is. And I'm going to call it a day. I've got a new graphics card has arrived today from America for me to fit onto my computer, so I'll go and get that done, and I've got some editing to do. It sounds to me very much like we might get another fish just before we go. There's a bit of a drop back there by the looks of it. But it's been really pleasant out in the sun, and sometimes it's just nice to come out in the daytime especially when you've been doing endless nights. I mean, I really do enjoy my night fishing, no matter what I'm fishing for. Even through the blanks, it never bothers me. I've always enjoyed being outdoors at night. It's the sights and the sounds that you hear and see. There's more to just catching fish, but sometimes it's lovely just to come out for a few hours in the daytime and not get rained on a nice day like today, and just soak up the sun for a couple of hours, catch a few fish and just relax a little bit. Always does you good, and I'd advise anybody to do that while you're pursuing other things, you know. Sometimes, especially with the carp fishing, it can become quite an obsession, as anybody that's ever carp fished will tell you, and you can really sort of lose sight of what you're doing it for. Yes, we all want to catch carp and we all want to catch good carp, but fishing's not just about that. Fishing's about a lot of other things as well. For me, it's always been a variety of species, and I think I'm going to have to go and answer that, although it's only just bobbing up and down. It's about fishing for a variety of species and a variety of different seasons, and really enjoying yourself and getting out to new places and doing new things. So anyway, I'm going to make this my last fish anyway. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and once again, all the best with your angling. That really is going. If it's a bream, it's a very good one. I was hoping that might be a tench when it kept taking line off then, but clearly it's not. Certainly not fighting hard enough for that. Oh, better go and find the landing net now. I just put it up on the bank to dry because I didn't think I was going to be getting any more fish. I was going to wind the rods in a moment and start packing up and heading back. I've just done a piece to camera, but when off this went, the right hand rod with the red indicator was the one that kept bleeping while I was talking to camera, and I thought it was just a bream or something on there. And instead it's the left hand rod that is the one that's gone off. It's actually making a run for it, but it is just a bream. Blue one's going now. Right, I'll see if I can unhook that quick and then get the other one. If he'll let me. Oh, come on fish, don't be awkward, thank you. Right, I'll put this one back and get the other rod. Never rains and then it pours. In you go. Well, it's still on. Incredible really. As I said, I'd just done my final piece to camera and I was just starting to pack stuff away. But not sight nor sound of a tench. And that one is on the tiger nut. Well, since we don't have keat nets anymore, it's not very often I get to pose with a couple of fish, but I've retained these two, and just for that purpose this time. That's not too shabby to end on, is it? A couple of nice bream. Certainly getting bigger as I'm going along. Anyway, that'll do. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and I wish you all the best with your fishing.